So 2 video inputs and a key is what I'm gonna try to do. I have the video patch bay patched up already. I have the VCR, DV source, coming into LZX input 1. I have the Betacam coming out of BTR2 output, Betacam player, into input 2. And I have, sorry for my camera work, I have the LZX TBC1 output going into switcher input 1. I'm working one-handed, so bear with me. Here's my cables. I want to work with full color, so I'm going to use the RGB channels. So this is TBC1 input, so this is going to be the VCR. Oh, it's not playing right now, but I'll hit play in a moment. So that's red. And I'm going into the left inputs on the colorizer and compositor section of the Visual Cortex. Green. And blue. I'm not matching the cables, but that's okay. So now we have the full color. If I hit play, and what are we watching? The Wind in the Willows. Play. Good. Probably an FBI warning. And then I'm also going to take the RGB from the second color TBC, which is LZX input 2. Into channel B on the colorizer and compositor section. That hasn't changed anything yet, but there's the full color Wind in the Willows. At least I think that's what this is. I don't remember if I've seen this or not. Oh yeah. Great. So we have channel A with that, channel B with Brazil from the Betacam player. These switches are all down right now. This composite switch is in the middle. And this composite switch, this little key switch is in the middle. So right now, what this fader does is crossfade between Brazil and the Wind in the Willows. A smooth crossfade, pretty smooth. So this is a good way to do superimpositions, double exposure type stuff. And on this little sheet where the labels are not faded, we see that this little switch is called cycle. And what cycle does is engages a low frequency oscillator, which will essentially move this fader back and forth. So if I engage it, you can see it's the same as if my finger was moving this back and forth, and the speed is indicated by these lights. So it's fading the double exposure in and out. And the speed of that is adjustable by these knobs. Right now, they're both at around noon, so it's a pretty even, but if you adjust them, it can go faster and kind of flash in and fade out. You can go faster, faster till it's horrible. And if you make one side fast and one side slow, then it'll bounce in opposite directions. So now it's fading in and flashing out. Fading in and then cutting abruptly to nothing and then fading back in repeatedly. If I turn cycle off, it starts paying attention to where the fader, the crossfader, physical crossfader is again. Okay. And then we can also now more easily see what these mix switches at the bottom do. So if I turn the channel A one up, then the colorizer starts to engage for the wind in the willows. And make it the wind in the willows in hell. And then the crossfade, color on Brazil is untouched. So if we want to adjust the color of Brazil, then we hit the mix switch. Not labeled, it's faded, but it's called mix. And it points to channel A or channel B. So if we want to do the one for the colorizer for channel B, that switches up. Then now we fade, and Brazil is colorized now too. So everything's pretty green right now. We'll turn those off, get our normal colors back. And when the mix knob is up, you can also use the solarize function, which can be pretty neat. And it lets you do kind of, it's making more relational adjustments instead of just washing everything in a sea of red or green. So that's second knob on the sort of channel A side, although it's not exclusive to channel A, I don't think. Yeah, because here it's still solarizing the channel B, but now it's not, after I flicked the mix switch down. So what I really wanted to talk about, well, that's all very cool, but I also want to talk about the keyer. So right now this fader is just crossfading, but if we if we had another video source, we could use another video as the keyer, like John did with the sheet of paper with the key drawing over there the other day. But right now, I think we're only able to bring 2 actual video sources in. But we can take, for example, the circle gradient from the ramp generator, H plus V. These are all ramp outputs, so we can take that, go into the keyer, and we can flip this switch to engage the key, which says key minus or key plus. So I have it in key minus right now. And now you can see we have the circle, and as I move the fader, it shrinks and grows. So now the wind in the willows can sort of slowly grow out of this guy's head in Brazil. If we want the opposite structure, we can flick it up, and now Brazil is growing out of the wind in the willows, river, lake, whatever.